I did want to ask you about was the whole area of investment, entrepreneurship, angel investing, the opportunities for corporate restructuring in Scotland. I mean, from my previous life with Scottish Enterprises, it's something I was always very proud of, because Scotland has a much higher proportion of angel investors. I mean, we might struggle in the higher, echelons, although I think that's improving as well in terms of venture capital. But the angel market has been very active in Scotland, and Sheena takes support a lot of angels in terms of the tax side of it, and a lot of entrepreneurs that grow to be hopefully these future unicorns, although maybe it's not about future unicorns either. That's maybe for another day. But, what are your thoughts on, is this a good time to invest as an angel? What do you think will happen with wealth tax? What should happen? Are there opportunities for that kind of corporate restructuring?
Yeah, so as we know over the years, one of the challenges that we have had in Scotland is not starting businesses. It's about getting the businesses of scale and momentum to go the next phase. And lots of different reasons why that's the case. I think there's a whole host of different issues, from ambition through to size, sectors, the way universities are structured, the way government is structured, the type of sectors we're involved. There's a whole host of different things in all of that. But again, with the change happening and the nature of the acceleration of the change that this crisis is bringing forward in terms of the way we're working, in terms of even thinking about the transition to net zero, that's really accelerated through about the move to digital, the ability for new players to come in and make radical improvements, about the changing nature of retail, the changing nature of tourism, hospitality, the way we're all accessing everything that we've done. That churn creates enormous opportunities for the economic forces to do their effect. So finding the right investments in there, finding the right opportunities, I think is, now's one of the ideal times to do it, because this is when the change happens. This is when markets are all over the place, displaced, and it's the ability for new, smaller entrants or growth companies to really excel and to really jump on. I mean, who would have heard about Zoom and all the various activities we've done in Zoom, even the last few months, and things like that, radically changing things. So I think there's some real opportunities. There's some big challenges for particularly traditional players in all of this, about how you can restructure and change. And again, smaller, more nimble, flexible companies have a significant advantage, because you can move much quicker and you can pivot much more quickly. So again, thinking about where the opportunities and all of that, I think is really key. You allude to what happens to wealth taxes and things at the end of all of this. I mean, I think, again, it's a bit of a crystal ball really into what happens. So on the one hand, there's a view that you could have, which is that somehow we're going to have to pay for all of this. And any form of tax from anybody is going to be a potential source of revenue to government. Again, on the other hand, though, I think that, particularly, the current Chancellor has been very clear about the importance of growth, the importance of rebuilding the economy as a way to rebuilding the public finances after all of this. So again, I think my sense would be is that that the driving of the power of the economy to actually rebuild much of the damage that's been done and to restore the public finances becomes really important. And I think that probably what you'll see, at least from the chance of the short term, is very much trying to stimulate that investment into the economy to create jobs, to create tax revenues, to create profits, which in turn will help restore the economy to health in the medium term.
Yeah, and we'll avoid all constitutional discussions today, but I guess in that it just becomes so important that there is this level of cooperation, with the devolved administrations, with Scotland, with the UK government. It really is vital, isn't it?
Yes, and one of the things, again, setting the politics all aside from all of this, exactly. But broadly speaking, the nature of policy in economic policy in Scotland is that the UK government control much of the short-term stimulus levers, and we've seen them in full force in the midst of this crisis. So we estimate about £10 billion of fiscal stimulus has gone into the Scottish economy from various UK government measures. But many of the medium to long-term levers of the economy, the skills of our workforce, our infrastructure, our economic development landscape, transport, the support to transition to net zero, they're all Scottish Government levers. So both governments have a really crucial role in navigating through this crisis and supporting the recovery. The UK government, particularly in the shorter term, but then also setting the overall macro context and public finance context for the recovery. And the Scottish government about setting the right levers over the long term that mean we have a skilled workforce, an economy that's well connected, a business base that's dynamic, and an economy that's transitioning in a way to a net zero economy that is done so that it protects jobs and creates investment. So it needs that really close cooperation and joint working. And again, what we always say with all of this, if you get that right, debates about the constitution and politics can then just, take place. But irrespective of what happens, Brexit, independence, whatever colour of government, the importance of getting the basics right in the economy is absolutely crucial for everybody.
And we haven't even got to Brexit. Maybe you could top and tail this series, but we come back to Brexit. I think we've got a bit more clarity.